Have you ever looked back and thought, if only I had known this earlier in life? The truth is, many of the most valuable lessons only become clear with time, often after we've already made mistakes or lost precious opportunities. In this video, we'll explore 10 life lessons that most people realize far too late. If you understand them now, you can avoid years of regret and live with greater clarity, peace, and purpose. Lesson 1. Time is your most precious resource. When you are young, time feels endless. You think there will always be more hours, more chances, more tomorrows. This feeling is a powerful illusion. Time is not like money. You can earn money back. You cannot earn back lost time. Every choice carries a cost. When you scroll your phone for an hour, you lose 1 hour that could be used to learn, to rest, or to connect. This idea is called opportunity cost. It is simple and quiet, and it shapes your whole life. Think about how small actions compound. 1 extra hour of practice each day becomes hundreds of hours in a year. 1 extra hour of worry becomes a habit that steals your focus. The truth is that small daily choices build the life you live. Here are concrete signs that time is slipping away. You keep saying, "I will start tomorrow." You let weeks pass without making progress on what matters. You postpone important conversations until they become regrets. Now the practical part. 3 actions you can take today. First, do a time audit. For 3 days, write down how you spend your time in 30-minute blocks. Do not judge yourself. Just observe. You will be surprised by what you find. Second, protect deep time. Block 2 or 3 hours in your week for work that matters. Turn off notifications during that block. Treat it like an important meeting with your future self. Third, learn to say no. Every yes is a choice away from something else. Say no to low-valued tasks so you can say yes to what moves you forward. A short daily habit that helps. Each morning, pick the 3 tasks that would make the biggest difference in your day. Do those first. The rest can wait. Finally, remember this. Time shapes your story more than money or status. How you spend your days becomes how you spend your life. Lesson 2. Health is true wealth. When we are young, we believe our bodies will always keep up. We push through sleepless nights, eat whatever is quick, and ignore the signals of fatigue. At first, nothing seems wrong, but the hidden cost builds slowly. One day it shows up as sickness, weakness, or years lost. Health is the foundation of everything else. Without it, money cannot be enjoyed. Without it, relationships suffer. Without it, even freedom feels like a burden. This is why people only realize later in life that health is wealth. Let's look at what often goes wrong. Poor diet leads to weight gain, diabetes, or heart problems. Lack of exercise weakens the body and shortens lifespan. Ignoring mental health creates stress, burnout, and depression. Each one chips away at the life you could be living. Now think about the other side. When you invest in health, everything changes. You wake with more energy. Your mind becomes clearer. You can pursue opportunities longer and with more focus. The return on health is not just years added to life, but life added to years. Here are 3 practical actions you can start today. First, move daily. You do not need a gym membership. A 30-minute walk, stretching, or simple bodyweight exercises already make a difference. Motion is medicine. Second, fuel your body with awareness. Instead of chasing diets, pay attention to balance. Eat whole foods, reduce sugar, and drink enough water. Your future body is built by what you choose today. Third, protect your rest. Sleep is not wasted time. It is when your body repairs, your mind organizes memories, and your spirit resets. A rested person thinks better, feels better, and lives longer. Do not forget mental health. Journaling, meditation, or simply talking to someone you trust can prevent silent struggles from growing. Remember this truth. Your body is the only place you must live. Treat it as a temple, not a trash bin. Do this, and you will carry strength, energy, and clarity into every stage of life. Lesson 3. time is more precious than money. When we are young, money feels like the ultimate goal. We chase it with ambition, believing that wealth will solve every problem. We imagine that once we have enough, happiness will automatically follow. But later in life, people realize something far more important. Time is the true currency. You can always earn money again. You can recover from a financial loss. But no matter who you are, time only moves in one direction. Once a moment is gone, it cannot be bought back. Not with money, not with power, not with regret. Many people spend their best years trading time for money. They miss family dinners, skip vacations, or sacrifice health just to climb higher. Then one day, they look back and ask, was the sacrifice worth it? The bank account may be full, but the memories are empty. Think about this. What is the point of money if you have no time to enjoy it? What is the point of success if the people you love are no longer there to share it with you? Time gives meaning to wealth. Without it, wealth is meaningless. Here are 3 insights to hold close. First, value experiences over possessions. A trip with loved ones, an evening of laughter, or a simple shared meal creates memories that outlast material things. A car will rust, a phone will break, but a memory can live forever in your heart. Second, learn to say no. Every yes you give is time taken from something else. Protect your hours as carefully as your money. Choose commitments that align with your values, not just your ambitions. Third, live with presence. So often we are physically here but mentally elsewhere. We scroll while our children talk. We plan tomorrow while today passes by unnoticed. Presence means giving your full attention to the moment. It is the greatest gift you can offer both to yourself and to others. At the end of life, people rarely say, I wish I had made more money. But they often say, I wish I had more time, or I wish I had spent more time with the people I love. The lesson is simple yet profound. Money is replaceable. Time is not. Spend it wisely. Lesson 4. Relationships shape your happiness. When we are young, it is easy to believe that independence is all we need. We think that as long as we work hard and succeed, happiness will naturally follow. But life teaches us something very different. No matter how strong, wealthy, or intelligent you are, relationships are the true source of lasting joy. Research has shown again and again that human beings are wired for connection. Money can buy comfort, but it cannot buy love. Fame can attract attention, but it cannot guarantee true friendship. Even success feels empty when there is no one to share it with. Think about it this way. At the end of a long day, what matters more? Another number in your bank account or the voice of someone who cares for you? When life becomes difficult, what gives you strength? The title on your business card, or the hand of a loved one holding yours? Sadly, many people realize this truth too late. They spend their prime years chasing achievements, neglecting the people who matter most. By the time they look back, relationships may have weakened or even disappeared. The empty chair at the dinner table is a reminder that time with loved ones is not infinite. Here are 3 key lessons about relationships. First, relationships need attention. Love and friendship are like gardens. If you water them with care, they grow strong. If you ignore them, they wither. A quick message, a small act of kindness, or a moment of listening can mean more than grand gestures. Second, choose people who lift you higher. Not every relationship deserves your energy. Toxic people drain joy and steal peace. Healthy relationships give support, respect, and honesty. Surround yourself with people who bring out your best, not your worst. Third, invest in depth, not just numbers. Social media can give the illusion of thousands of friends, but what matters are the few who truly stand beside you. One loyal friend is worth more than 100 casual contacts. Quality will always matter more than quantity. In the end, happiness is not found in isolation. It is built in the laughter of family, the trust of true friends, and the love we both give and receive. When people look back on life, it is the faces, not the trophies, that fill their hearts. So remember this. Relationships are not a distraction from success. They are the foundation of a meaningful life. Lesson 5. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning from childhood. Many of us are taught to avoid failure at all costs. We fear the red mark on an exam paper, the rejection letter, or the embarrassment of falling short. Failure feels like proof that we are not good enough. So we hide from it, deny it, or let it break our spirit. But here is the truth that often comes too late. Failure is not the enemy. It is the teacher. Every great person, from inventors to leaders to artists, has failed, often many times, before finding success. Thomas Edison once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Without those failed attempts, the light bulb would not exist. Why do we fear failure so much? Because we confuse it with finality. We think failing means the end of the road. In reality, failure is feedback. It is a signal telling us what does not work and guiding us toward what will. Imagine a child learning to walk. They fall again and again. But do we call that failure? No. We see it as progress. Every fall is a step closer to balance. Yet when we grow older, we lose this perspective. We start to think falling means we are weak, when in fact it means we are learning. Here are 3 ways to rethink failure. First, separate the event from your identity. Failing at something does not mean you are a failure. It means one attempt did not succeed. You are more than your mistakes. Second, study your failures. Do not just feel pain. Look for patterns. Ask, what can I do differently next time? Every failure has a lesson, but only if you are willing to see it. Third, use failure as fuel. The sting of disappointment can either paralyze you or push you forward. Let it sharpen your determination. Many people who succeed are not the most talented. They are simply the ones who refuse to give up. Remember this, the road to success is paved with failures. Each setback is not a wall but a stepping stone. The sooner you embrace failure, the sooner you will unlock resilience, creativity, and growth. In the end, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Do not fear it. Learn from it, and let it guide you toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Lesson 6. Money alone does not equal happiness. Many people spend their entire lives chasing wealth. They believe that once they reach a certain income, or once their bank account holds a certain number, they will finally feel fulfilled. But time and experience reveal a different truth. Money can bring comfort, but not necessarily happiness. Think about this carefully. Money can buy a bigger house, but not a home filled with love. It can buy the best mattress, but not peaceful sleep. It can pay for entertainment, but not true joy. The essentials, safety, food, shelter. Yes, money provides those. But beyond that, the connection between money and happiness weakens. Why do so many people still fall into the trap? Because money offers quick rewards. It gives the illusion of progress, of success, of importance. But once the novelty fades, emptiness often returns. That is why we hear stories of wealthy celebrities who seem to have it all, yet still struggle with loneliness, depression, or addiction. Here's the real lesson. Happiness comes from how you use money, not just how much you have. First, money used for experiences often creates more joy than money used for possessions. A family trip, an evening out with friends, or learning a new skill creates memories that last long after material objects fade. The shine of a new gadget dulls quickly, but the memory of a shared laugh can warm your heart decades later. Second, money used to help others multiplies happiness. When you give, whether through charity, acts of kindness, or simply helping a friend in need, you create connection and meaning. Generosity brings a kind of fulfillment that buying for yourself rarely matches. Third, money should be seen as a tool, not a trophy. Its purpose is to support your values, your health, your growth, your relationships, your passions. When you use it wisely, money amplifies what already matters most to you. Remember this: money is a powerful servant, but a terrible master. If you spend your life serving money, you may gain riches, but lose yourself. If you make money serve you, it can build a life of balance, freedom, and purpose. People who realize this lesson late in life often look back with regret. They see years spent chasing numbers when they could have been building memories. Do not wait for regret. Learn now that money matters, but it is never the whole story. Happiness is not found in the number on a bank statement. It is found in the richness of your experiences, your growth, and your connections with others. Lesson 7. Gratitude changes everything. When life is busy, it is easy to focus on what we do not have. We think happiness will arrive only when we achieve more, earn more, or own more. But many people discover too late that gratitude, the ability to appreciate what you already have, is the real key to contentment. Think about this. Gratitude turns a simple meal into a feast. It turns a small home into a place of warmth. It turns ordinary days into blessings. Without gratitude, even the greatest successes can feel empty. Why is gratitude so powerful? Because it shifts the way we see the world. When we focus only on what is missing, we live in a constant state of lack. But when we notice what is present, we realize how much we already possess. A healthy body, a friend who listens, a sunrise, or even the ability to breathe deeply. These are gifts we often overlook until they are gone. Here are 3 truths about gratitude that many people learn too late. First, gratitude strengthens relationships. When you thank the people in your life, they feel valued and loved. A simple, "I appreciate you," can heal wounds and deepen bonds. Unspoken gratitude, on the other hand, often leaves regret. Many people wish they had expressed their appreciation before it was too late. Second, gratitude improves health. Studies show that people who practice gratitude sleep better, stress less, and even live longer. It calms the mind, eases anxiety, and reminds us that not everything needs to be perfect for life to be good. Third, gratitude multiplies joy. When you count your blessings, even small ones, your mind begins to notice more good things around you. The act of recognizing the positive creates a cycle. What you focus on grows. The more you practice gratitude, the more reasons you find to be grateful. A practical way to start is simple. Each night, write down 3 things you are thankful for. They do not have to be big. It could be a smile from a stranger, a moment of peace, or a task completed. Over time, this habit rewires your mind to see abundance instead of lack. Remember this truth. Gratitude does not mean ignoring challenges. It means choosing to also see the good that exists alongside the difficulties. Life will never be perfect, but with gratitude it can always be meaningful. At the end of life, people rarely regret having too much gratitude. Instead, they regret not appreciating what they had while it was still in front of them. Do not wait until something is gone to value it. Practice gratitude now, and you will realize that you already live in abundance. Lesson 8. Comparison steals joy. From an early age, we are taught to measure ourselves against others. Grades in school, performance in sports, promotions at work. Everywhere we look, there is someone ahead of us and someone behind. At first, comparison feels natural, but over time, it becomes a trap that robs us of peace and happiness. Here's the hidden danger. No matter how much you achieve, there will always be someone with more. A bigger house, a newer car, a higher salary. If you tie your self-worth to outdoing others, you will never feel enough. The race has no finish line. Comparison is unfair for another reason. We often compare our weaknesses to someone else's strengths. We see their highlight reel but forget about their struggles behind the scenes. We look at their success but not the sacrifices that came with it. The truth is, every life carries burdens that outsiders cannot see. Why do people realize this lesson too late? Because comparison can feel motivating in the short term. It pushes us to try harder. But in the long run, it leads to envy, resentment, and burnout. We start chasing other people's dreams instead of our own. Here are 3 ways to break free from comparison. First, measure yourself against your past self, not against others. Ask, am I wiser than I was last year? Am I healthier, kinder, more focused? Progress is personal. Your journey is unique. The only fair comparison is between who you are and who you were. Second, celebrate others without diminishing yourself. Someone else's success does not mean your failure. Their light does not dim your own. Learn to admire without envy, and you will find peace in your own path. Third, focus on contribution instead of competition. Life is not about being better than others, but about adding value in your own way. When you shift from, how do I compare, to how do I serve, the weight of comparison begins to lift. Imagine reaching the end of life and realizing you wasted years chasing other people's standards. Imagine realizing that the joy you sought was always within reach, but comparison blinded you to it. Remember this. Comparison is the thief of joy. Contentment comes not from having more than others, but from being at peace with who you are and what you have. Your path is yours alone. Walk it with pride, not with envy. Lesson 9. Self-discipline builds true freedom. At first, discipline sounds like restriction. It feels like saying no to fun, limiting choices, or living with strict rules. That is why many people avoid it when they are young. They want freedom, spontaneity, and instant gratification. But here is the paradox. Without discipline, freedom does not last. Think about health. If you eat recklessly and never exercise, the body eventually breaks down. In the short term, it feels like freedom, eating whatever you want, skipping the gym. But later, it becomes chains, illness, fatigue, or dependence on medicine. Think about money. If you spend every dollar as soon as it comes, it feels exciting at first. But eventually, debt, stress, and limitation follow. The lack of discipline removes choices, rather than creating them. Now consider relationships. If you act only on impulse, speaking harshly, ignoring commitment, or breaking trust, you may feel powerful for a moment. But over time, bonds weaken and loneliness grows. This is the lesson people realize too late. True freedom comes not from doing whatever you want, but from building the discipline that allows you to live with strength, stability, and purpose. Here are 3 ways discipline creates freedom. First, discipline protects your future. Every small habit, saving money, eating well, learning skills, becomes an investment. When the future arrives, you are not trapped by regret. Instead, you have options. That is real freedom. Second, discipline strengthens your mind. When you keep promises to yourself, you build confidence and trust in your own abilities. Each time you resist temptation, your self-respect grows. This inner strength makes you less controlled by impulses and more guided by wisdom. Third, discipline brings clarity. When you structure your time and energy, you create space for what matters most. Without discipline, life feels scattered and chaotic. With discipline, life feels focused and meaningful. The irony is this: the people who avoid discipline because they want freedom often end up enslaved by debt, poor health, wasted time, or broken relationships. Meanwhile, those who practice discipline quietly enjoy the freedom to live on their own terms. At the end of life, people often wish they had been more disciplined. They see how small daily choices created lifelong consequences, and they realize that discipline was never punishment. It was the key to a life of peace and independence. Remember this truth. Self-discipline is not the enemy of freedom. It is the path to it. Lesson 10. Time is the most precious currency. We live as if time is unlimited. We waste days scrolling on screens, chasing distractions, or postponing what matters. We say, "I'll do it tomorrow," forgetting that tomorrow is never promised. Only later in life do people realize that time, not money, is the most valuable currency we own. Think about this. Money lost can be earned again. Objects broken can be replaced. But time, once spent, is gone forever. Every minute carries a weight greater than gold, yet we often spend it carelessly. Why do we treat time as endless? Because the clock keeps ticking, giving the illusion that we have plenty. But ask someone in their final years, and they will tell you, the fastest thing in life is time. Childhood feels long when you are in it, but in memory, it is only a flash. Decades pass like seasons, and suddenly, we wonder where all the moments went. Here are 3 timeless lessons about time. First, how you spend your days is how you spend your life. Small routines shape destiny. If you fill each day with distractions, your life becomes a collection of wasted hours. But if you fill your days with purpose, relationships, and growth, your life becomes meaningful. Second, priorities reveal themselves in how you spend time, not in what you claim to value. You may say family is important, but if you never make time for them, the truth is different. You may say health matters, but if you never exercise, time will remind you otherwise. Time does not lie. It shows where your heart truly is. Third, guarding your time is an act of wisdom. Not every request deserves a yes. Not every opportunity is worth the hours it demands. When you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what nourishes you. Imagine this. At the end of life, nobody wishes for more money in the bank or more trophies on the shelf. They wish for more time. Time with loved ones, time to chase passions, time to simply live. But wishing will not bring it back. The only time you truly own is now. So learn this lesson while there is still time. Stop postponing the things that matter. Say the words you need to say. Take the steps you have been delaying. Live today as if it truly counts. Because it does. In the end, life is not measured by the years you had, but by how you spent the time within them. Spend it wisely. Spend it with love. Spend it with purpose. Life moves faster than we realize. Each lesson we explored today is not just advice. It's a reminder to pause, reflect, and act before it's too late. Remember, success is not about avoiding mistakes, but about learning from them before they become regrets. Cherish your time, nurture your health, value relationships, and keep growing in wisdom and gratitude. If even one of these lessons spoke to you, don't let it fade away. Choose one action you can take today, no matter how small, to align your life closer to your true values. Because in the end, it's not what we plan to do that defines us, but what we actually do. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 10 lessons do you feel you've learned the hard way? Or which one do you want to start applying today? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else who really needs to hear it. If this video helped you reflect, give it a like and subscribe for more deep life lessons every week. And if you know someone who could benefit from these insights, share this video with them. It might just be the reminder they've been waiting for. Life is short, but wisdom lasts forever. Let's learn it now, not later.